Have you ever heard of a band's debut album that was like 50 years in the making?
50 years? That sounds almost impossible, doesn't it?
It really does. Yet today we're peeling back the layers on exactly that kind of story. It's about raw power, unwavering defiance.
In a magnum opus released half a century late.
Into Stray to the Horizon. Legendary, but, you know, pretty obscure for decades, this British metal band. And it's built from a really fascinating stack of sources, interviews, timelines, lyrics.
Yeah.
It paints quite the picture of their journey.
Yeah, and our mission today really is to pull out the key insights from all that material.
Yeah, right.
We want to get at how this band, seriously against all odds, forged this lasting legacy to find a whole subgenre.
Apparently. And finally released this huge album, Ante Omnia.
Exactly. Ante Omnia is a story about what it really means to resist.
Yeah.
You know, to stay true to yourself no matter what.
Okay, let's get into it then. So imagine this. You start a band, it's 1975. You pour your heart, your soul, everything into it, only for the music industry to basically say no thanks for almost 50 years.
50 years. It's hard to even wrap your head around that time frame.
That's the starting point for Stray to the Horizon. Just relentless struggle.
And what's really striking, looking at the sources, is the sheer scale of that neglect. I mean, 50 years.
Yeah.
The sources say no record label ever knocked on their door. Making albums was just a distant dream.
Wow.
Their first demo way back in '81, dismissed, called Outdated.
Outdated in 81? What else was happening then?
Well, you had the new wave of British heavy metal really taking off, bands getting signed. But whatever Stray to the Horizon was doing, it was apparently already out of step.
So this wasn't just like a setback.
No, not at all. They felt the industry actively tried to bury them. They used the phrase locked out.
Locked out. That implies intent.
It really does, like a systemic thing, almost an erasure.
And it wasn't just the big industry players, was it? The gatekeepers.
No, the day-to-day was brutal, too. We're talking soul-crushing gigs.
Yeah.
Sometimes playing to, like, 5 people.
5 people?
In these dive bars where they'd often get cheated out of their pay.
Oh, man.
They literally scraped by. Just watching other bands, maybe bands they felt weren't as original.
Right.
Just effortlessly climb that ladder.
That must have been incredibly tough to watch.
Yeah. And that kind of constant struggle, it forced this extreme self-reliance.
Yeah.
Fixing their own gear, you know, because who else would?
And do them themselves.
Exactly. And the personal cost. Tommy Hargreaves, the founder, they say he dedicated his whole life to it.
His whole life.
Paul Henderson, the drummer, sold his car in '85 just to buy drums.
Wow. That's commitment.
Simon Graves slept in a truck in '79 for a gig.
Yeah.
Attended by 10 people.
10 people sleeping in a truck.
And Richard Caldwell quit his job twice to chase the music, facing mockery for it.
So this wasn't just a hobby, this was everything.
Everything. And this perseverance, despite all that, it forged this metal fire in them that apparently never dimmed.
That fire, you can feel it in their story, but that level of neglect, it didn't just make them quietly determined, did it?
No, not quiet at all.
Yeah.
It seems to have really festered, turned into this deep bitterness towards the industry, but also specifically towards other bands. They accused them, pretty bluntly, of stealing their sound.
Stealing their sound? That's a big accusation.
Yeah, it's huge. Tommy Hargreaves says, quote, "My style's in every big British band."
Every big British band.
That's what he claims. And he goes even further. Without Phobic Disease or Dogmatic Mutilator, those are early tracks, death metal might not exist.
Whoa. Okay, so he's positioning them as like foundational to death metal.
Absolutely foundational. They say, they cashed in on our riff, we bled for them.
Oh.
They accuse these big festival bands of playing riffs that sound like their stuff from the '80s, while Stray to the Horizon was totally forgotten.
They feel like others took their ideas and ran with them.
Yeah, exactly. Took our edges, softened them, posed for the cameras. That's the quote. Profiting from their groundwork, basically.
Okay, so for listeners maybe not super deep into early death metal, what was it about tracks like Phobic Disease or Dogmatic Mutilator? What made them potentially so groundbreaking back then?
Well, from what the sources suggest, these early tracks had this unique mix. Really blistering speed, dissonant sounds, harmonies that clashed, and a really guttural vocal style that just wasn't common in the metal scene of the late 70s, early 80s.
So different from the NWO BHM bands.
Very different. While others were maybe more melodic or focused on that classic heavy metal sound, Stray to the Horizon was apparently pushing this really extreme, non-melodic thing. complex songs, jarring structures.
Oh, I see.
Things that later did become trademarks of death metal. Their sound was raw, unpolished, really intense compared to what else was emerging.
That definitely adds weight to their claims then. And this feeling of being ripped off, it leads them to just reject the big names.
Totally.
Yeah.
They dismiss Iron Maiden, says they have cash but no soul.
Harsh.
And bands like Radiohead, they're just noise, not music. No gray areas there.
It's a very confrontational stance.
Absolutely. And it all ties into this bigger picture, this profoundly anti-commercial philosophy they have.
Right.
They say things like, fame's fake, truth lives in the noise. And we're not slick, we're real.
So authenticity above all else.
Exactly. They see the whole music industry as a sewer.
A sewer.
Yeah. One that wanted clones and just pushed trash, ignoring talent, ignoring truth, just for what sells. For them, it's almost like a moral crusade.
That really frames their musical identity, doesn't it? Which brings us to this idea of Bath metal. They call themselves the architects of Bath metal. What exactly is that? Is it just metal from Bath?
Well, yes and no. It's rooted in Bath, their hometown, obviously, but it's more than just geography.
Okay.
Bath metal, the way they talk about it, it's tied to this feeling of betrayal by Bath. Yeah. They feel the city turned its back on us.
Turned its back.
They talk about how it changed. It used to have grit tough pubs, metal heart, you know.
Right.
But now they see it as sanitized, all yoga studios and acoustic sets.
Ah, gentrification hit their metal scene.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And this feeling of being abandoned by their own city, it just fuels their defiance. Their music, their amps face it down, as they put it.
Yeah.
It's like their sound is a direct response, a pushback against what Bath became.
So the Bath and Bath metal is almost ironic in a way.
It feels that way, yeah. A statement about lost identity as much as location.
And given how personal this all feels, how much ties back to Tommy Vortex Riff Hargreaves himself, especially his identity as a gay man. He's called the glorious homosexual of heavy metal.
That's absolutely essential to understanding the band, I think.
Yeah.
Tommy says very openly he was rejected since '75 for being me.
Since the very beginning.
Right from the start. He describes the music industry back then, 70s, 80s, as a homophobic sewer.
Wow. Strong words again.
He says gays were invisible and AIDS fueled fear. And that whole climate, that prejudice, it deeply shaped his songwriting, his whole outlook.
Did he hide it?
For a long time, yes. He actually feared that coming out publicly, which he did in 1998, would ruin the band.
But it didn't.
Quite the opposite, apparently. He found that the fans roared louder. They embraced me.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he says, metal doesn't care who you are. It's about the heart.
So the fans got it. They understood the authenticity.
It seems so. And this personal fight, his commitment to his truth, became woven into the fabric of the band's art.
Which makes Bath metal even more about that authenticity flowing right from his own life.
Exactly. You see it so clearly in tracks like Liturgies of the Eternal Recoil. He calls it his soul's mirror, a gay man's defiance in a homophobic world.
Explicitly about his experience.
Explicitly. But he also says even those earlier foundational tracks we mentioned, like Phobic Disease, Dogmatic Mutilator, they reflect that fight too. His struggle as a gay man against a hostile world.
So the personal and the musical are completely intertwined.
Completely. It's the core of it. The music isn't just performance art. It's a direct extension of their real-life battles, their survival. That's Bath metal, not just a place, but a stance.
Okay, so after all these decades, this unwavering fire, this deep conviction, the band are now in their 70s.
Yeah, incredible.
And they've made this powerful return, proving that line, age doesn't stop the fire. How did this resurrection actually happen? What was the spark?
A really key moment seems to be adding Jamie Blaze Carter, joined in 2023.
Okay, who's Jamie?
A 25-year-old vocalist, so a huge age gap.
Right, new blood.
Exactly. Jamie brought new energy, these raw, unfiltered vocals, and a modern metal edge.
How did that mix with the old guard?
Apparently really well. It blended with the veterans' old guard's gritty riffs, created this revitalized six-member lineup that, as one source puts it, roared like a beast awakening from a long slumber.
Wow. So Jamie was the catalyst.
Seems like a major one, yeah.
Right.
Ignited something that was maybe dormant.
And this new energy, this new lineup, it all led to Ante Omnia, the debut album, released March 9th, 2025.
After 50 years, finally.
And remarkably, all 12 tracks written by Tommy Hargreaves, still his vision driving it.
Still his vision. And the album itself, Ante Omnia, it's described as a reckoning, a resurrection.
It captures the whole story.
Yeah, like 50 years of rage distilled into 12 songs.
And the genre, how do they categorize it?
Very precisely. ultra brutal, non-melodic, technical death metal.
Okay, break that down a bit. What does that actually sound like for someone listening?
Think intense, really intense. Music largely stripped of, traditional catchy melodies. Instead, it focuses on these heavy, often dissonant riffs, super fast tempos, blast beats maybe, and complex, almost mathematical song structures. It's not easy listening.
No background music here.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
It's designed to be uncompromising, confrontational, really reflecting that journey, that struggle.
And the lyrics, we touched on some, they sound just as intense.
Absolutely. They directly reflect everything we've talked about. Phobic disease, tackling conformity, dogmatic mutilator attacking blind obedience, monolithic lies, going after deception from authority figures, and of course, liturgies of the eternal recoil. That direct statement on homophobia and queer defiance.
It sounds like the whole album is just pure, undiluted stray to the horizon.
That's the sense you get. It's not just music. It's a declaration, right, of unwavering artistic integrity and defiant self-preservation.
A sonic monument.
Yeah, built from all those decades of struggle, and now it's out there.
And they're not stopping. They're touring this.
Oh, yeah. Big plans. A global tour for Ante Omnia. Starting, fittingly, right there in Bath.
Bringing it home,
then expanding out New York, Tokyo, major cities. Plus, plans for a live album, a documentary. They want to show the truth, finally tell their story on their terms.
It's an incredible final act. Or maybe a new beginning.
Could be.
So what we've really unpacked today, it's so much more than just a band's story, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
It's this profound testament to just raw defiance, stray to the horizon's journey, decades of neglect, the personal battles, homophobia, industry rejection, to finally releasing this debut album in their 70s. It's just such a powerful example of an unbroken flame, a spirit that just refused to die.
It really is remarkable. And it kind of makes you think, doesn't it? It raises this question for all of us, maybe.
Yeah.
What unbroken flame, what deep passion are you nurturing that maybe the world has tried to bury or ignore?
That's a powerful thought.
Because their legacy, it's clearly not about fame in the usual sense. It's not about chart positions or awards. It's about that enduring fire, that truth, leaving, as they hope, a spark in every listener.
They really are a kind of revolution in their own quiet, or rather very loud way.
Exactly. Proving that passion, real talent, it can transcend time. That true art finds a way, no matter how long it takes.